oddities, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be doing another update on everything we know about the Mortal Kombat 2021 sequel. It's been a while since the last one of these just because not a lot has happened with this movie, and if you're familiar with movies and what's been going on with them recently, then you probably know why, with the writing strike and the actors strike both really tanking this movie. Specifically the actors strike, because if actors aren't working, then they can't act, and without actors you can't have movies. Yeah. So even though in the last one of these that I did, I stated that the movie had started filming, it hasn't been filming for the last few months, but just recently it's picked back up. So basically when the actor strike ended, all the actors came back to Australia where the movie is being filmed, and some set photos have been released, and yeah, they're all together. Happy days. Alright, movie's filming again. Now if this movie is filming right now, November 2023, then I'm predicting probably a mid to late 2024 release for this movie, or even early 2025 around when the first movie released, which would be crazy because that would be a 4-year difference between sequels, which we definitely can't have again between Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 because that would kind of suck. And with the full cast back filming the movie in Australia, we actually pretty much know the full cast, so let's go through everyone. Firstly, you have all of the returning actors from the first movie, which is basically everyone who survived. So, Lewis Tan as Cole Young, what you say? Ludi Lin as Liu Kang, Jessica McNamee as Sonya Blade, Makad Brooks as Jax, Tadanobu Asano as Raiden, Chin Han as Shang Tsung, Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, which is a bit of a weird one, just because some people thought he wouldn't be in the movie, some people thought he did, but he is going to be in the movie, it's confirmed. Though he isn't on set, which is kind of weird. But I don't think that's anything to worry about. Like, obviously they're going to have Scorpion in Mortal Kombat. And then there are 2 other actors who are confirmed to be in this movie returning from the first one, even though the characters died in the last one, and that is Max Wong as Kung Lao, maybe a Revenant, maybe a flashback, maybe a Shang Tsung morph, we don't really know at this point, and of course Joe Taslim returning as Bihan, aka, in this movie, Noob Saibot's. Very excited about that one, as you can probably tell. And then the last one I do want to talk about, that's a returning actor from the first movie, but I don't know if it's actually confirmed yet, is Josh Lawson as Kano. I don't believe he's at all confirmed to be in the movie. Like, none of the set photos include him. It doesn't seem like he's a part of the movie right now, but with how popular he was in the first one, I can't imagine them just, like, completely dropping him, so maybe he'll be in it, maybe he won't, I'm not sure. And then we have the new cast. Everyone cast for this movie as new characters that weren't in the first one. And I'm going to have a little fun with this one. I'm going to rate each one of these castings from 1 to 10 and talk about why I rated them so highly or so lowly based on just like how well I think the character was cast. So let's get started. Firstly, we have Karl Urban, the most high-profile actor in the movie so far, as Johnny Cage. This is a 0 out of 10 casting. I know I said 1 to 10, but this one's a 0. I don't know who made the decision to have Karl Urban as Johnny Cage, but they need to be fired and they should never work on a movie ever again. And then we have a really good casting with Tati Gabriel as Jade. I'm going to give this one a 9 out of 10. I'm really liking the look they're going for. Tati Gabriel, good actress, and so I'm very excited to see her performance as Jade. Then we have Adeline Rudolph as Katana. Just like Jade, I think this is a really, really good casting from a visual and just acting standpoint, but it does get dropped a few points just because this is not consistent with the first movie, where Melina, the clone of Katana, was played by CeCe Stringer, but in this movie, it's played by a different actress, which doesn't really make sense, unless they're not going to have them be clones, which would be kind of weird, and I think that should be how it is. They should be sisters, they should be clones. And I don't know, it's just weird. But Adeline Rudolph as Katana, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, which is more than I would have given it when it first got announced. Then we have Martin Ford as Shao Kahn. Now, I would have preferred a CGI Shao Kahn, believe it or not. But if you're going to go with an actor, I think this is the perfect pick. Like, he's gigantic. He's, I think, even bigger than Nathan Jones was as Reiko. I don't know, I need to look it up. But if he is bigger than Nathan Jones as Reiko, then obviously that's a good thing because Shao Kahn above Reiko, and it just makes sense for him to be taller because Chad. Yeah. But yeah, he definitely looks the part. He doesn't have too many acting chops that are actually like acting. That's just how big guys kind of get cast in these movies. It's just big dumb brutes. But hopefully he's able to do a good job as the, conniving, intelligent leader of Outworld, Shao Kahn. And then we have a returning actor from the first movie, but not a returning character. We have Damon Harriman, who was Cabal, or the voice of Cabal, in the first movie as Quan Chi. Now, Damon Harriman, I really liked his Cabal voice. It's super funny. It's not actually that, like, great. Like, I don't know. It doesn't really fit Cabal, in my opinion. But the Cabal they were going for, it did fit him. So, I guess that's good. And, of course, he gave us all the line that we all know and love.
He's about to get his soul sucked.
So, yeah. I don't know how he's going to do as Quan Chi. I know he was Charles Manson in, like, 2 separate things, not even just one thing. Like, he was in 2 completely separate, I think, movie or TV show. Like, they were completely separate entities, like, not a part of the same universe or anything. And he played the same guy, Charles Manson, which I think is kind of funny. But, yeah, he's Quan Chi. So if he can do Charles Manson, then I'm sure he can do Quan Chi. 7 out of 10. Then we have Anna Thu Nguyen. I hope I'm saying that correctly. As Sindel. Asian Sindel. Hooray. Sindel should be Asian. If Katana's going to be Asian and stuff like that, I think that just makes sense. So, hooray. 8 out of 10. I don't know much about the actress. Then we have a new casting that no one really talked about, but was just kind of there on set. Just he happened to be there. CJ Bloomfield, who I'm not familiar with, as Baraka. I mean, I don't really have much to say. I mean, not only is it kind of a nothing character, who I'm sure will be a nothing character in the movie, but it's also an actor I don't know very well. So, I guess I'll give it a 6 out of 10. Sure. Yeah, awesome. Now the last casting we have is Desmond Chiam. Again, hopefully I'm pronouncing these correctly, as King Jared. Once again, just like Baraka, Jared is even more of a nothing character. We literally know pretty much nothing about his personality, besides just he was a good guy. So I'm sure Desmond Chiam could do a good job. I think he was in like a Marvel movie or DC or something. I recognize his face from somewhere. But yeah, he's going to be King Jared, probably for a flashback scene or something. I'll give him a 5 out of 10, just middle of the road completely. And that's it for the cast. I think overall it's well-rounded, it's decent. There's a few questionable, or mainly one questionable decisions with the casting. But other than that, pretty okay. I don't think it's as great as the casting from the first movie was. I think every single character, every single one, Nathan Jones, CC Stringer, everyone was a good casting. It's just the writing let down some of the characters. So yeah, it's not the actor's fault whatsoever from the first movie if their character sucked. So yeah, if we're going strictly off casting, I think that was a really, really amazing cast. This one is decent. It's pretty good. But there's one casting and one character that is just missing. And that's, weirdly enough, the second most popular character in all of Mortal Kombat, Sub-Zero. Doesn't seem like he's in the movie. Now, of course, we have Joe Taslim, but he's going to be playing Noob Saibot. And so, who's going to be Sub-Zero? Kuai Liang has not been confirmed to be in the movie. There's no way they have a Mortal Kombat movie without Sub-Zero in it, right? That would be crazy. But from what we've seen so far, no set photos of any actor that could potentially play Sub-Zero. No official casting news at all. No confirms from Todd Gardner, from the director, the writer, or anything about Sub-Zero's involvement with this movie, which I think is very, very strange. Like, obviously, like, when you think of Mortal Kombat 2, or you think of a sequel to the first movie, a lot of these characters, they make sense, okay? I mean, you have some outliers like, Quan Chi probably doesn't really need to be there. Sindel maybe, but all the other ones, Shao Kahn, Katana, Baraka, Jade, Johnny Cage, they make sense to be in the movie. But there's one casting that isn't here that would make sense, but it's just not here, and that's Sub-Zero, Kuai Liang. Just nowhere to be seen. So is this movie really gonna not include Sub-Zero, the real Sub-Zero? Like, I know I love Bi-Han, he's my favorite Sub-Zero, but if we're talking the real main Sub-Zero, then it's Kuai Liang. But nowhere to be found in this movie. And personally, I'm not sure how I feel about it. I don't know. I'll have to see more of the movie. Of course, we could be wrong and he might be in the movie. Probably wait until the first trailer to really make a solid opinion on it. But it's very strange. That's what I'll say, I guess. It's very weird they don't have Sub-Zero in the movie. You guys let me know in the comments what you would think if this movie just didn't have Sub-Zero in it. Now, something that actually happened before all these characters were cast was leaked audition tapes. Now, when a movie is in production, there are probably going to be a lot of leaks, especially when it's kind of low budget, not really like high profile AAA movies being made here who don't like really try and keep things secret from the public. With a movie like this, they're probably not going to try that hard to keep set photos, keep audition tapes away from people. So, you know, we're going to probably get a lot of set photos soon. We're probably going to get audition tapes. We've already gotten audition tapes, so we'll see. But with the audition tapes that have already been leaked, we got a really good one for Shao Kahn where he's like menacing. He's the intelligent Shao Kahn that we all know, we all love. Not the big dumb brute Shao Kahn. It's just like the way he is in like MK11 and MK1, like kind of the boring version of Shao Kahn. No, this is the intelligent, manipulative Shao Kahn, the leader, the emperor that we really want to see again in one of these games. Which I think is kind of strange because these modern movies always kind of take from the more modern games in terms of character personalities. But it seems like this one is taking more from the original timeline Shao Kahn, and I'm definitely not mad about that. Of course, this was a while back, so I'm probably forgetting some details, but when these auditions leaked, I remember that this one had like Shao Kahn like being upset with Katana for some reason. I think Katana admitted she was sneaking out or doing something else for the tournament, so that's interesting. Yeah, I don't really remember too many of the story details, but I just remember that being a thing. There was also a Jade audition tape leaked. Pretty decent, pretty just standard female character, Jade type stuff. Not really anything like super special in terms of characterization. Same thing with Katana. I do believe Noob Saibot was kind of included in one of these. Obviously, it's an audition tape with one actor, so you can't have multiple people there. I mean, you could, but that's very specific scenarios, which wasn't the case in here. But he was mentioned, and he was kind of introduced. Like Shao Kahn is like, here is this warrior from the shadows, and obviously no one shows up, but it's obvious that in that moment, Noob Saibot is being introduced, which I wanted to mention because I think it's cool. But yeah, that's all I can really remember from the audition tapes. There was not a lot of them, just like mostly for Shao Kahn, and then there was like one or two for, I believe it was Jade and Katana. I don't think there was any other ones other than that. And yeah, that's pretty much our catch up for the movie. That's the update of everything we know, which is of course the title of the video. And I want to finish this off by giving some of my thoughts and predictions for the movie. Do I think this movie will be good? Do I think it'll be bad? What do I think? Or what do I think will happen in the movie? Let me tell you guys. Now, firstly, this is the big one. Do I think this movie will be good? Or do I think it'll be bad? Now, when the Carl Urban casting happened, I immediately just went, this movie's gonna suck. But other stuff has happened since then, and it does seem like the team is really having fun making this. It does seem like they're trying to respect the fan, trying to respect the source material, taking from our criticisms. And so, I think this movie is going to be okay. I think it's probably going to be fine. Like, I feel like it's going to be very much less controversial than the first movie. I feel like just the overall consensus for the film is just going to be it's all right. It's all right. It's okay. And that's it. That's honestly how I feel. Which is, I know, kind of anticlimactic, but yeah, it is what it is. I feel like it's just going to be a pretty standard Mortal Kombat 1 tournament storyline. And so, it's just going to be like, okay, all these characters are here. Some of them are going to get good characterization. Some of them are going to get bad characterizations. Some of them are just going to be okay and just there. And I feel like that's just going to be like kind of the overall feel of the movie. Some things will be bad. Some things will be good. Some things will be okay. Mostly just okay. And yeah, people aren't going to come out of the movie being super like emotional about it, getting super invested in it, or why it's bad or why it's amazing. I feel like people are just going to be like, okay, that was a Mortal Kombat movie. Hooray. And so, yeah, I don't know how successful a movie like that would be. I don't know if that would get us a third one. I don't know if that would not get us a third one. I don't know what that would do for the overall Mortal Kombat movie universe. I hope, even if this movie is just okay, that it continues, because Mortal Kombat movies, hooray. But, you know, if the movie really sucks, then I hope they stop. Just stop and do something else. Obviously, I'm wanting this movie to be really, really good, amazing. I've always said that I don't think there's a definitive great Mortal Kombat movie. Closest things we got are the 1995 and the first 2021 movie. But other than that, not really anything that I love too much or that I think is even good. And I still feel like we haven't gotten just that one movie that combines every aspect of MK that I want, just one complete package. So hopefully this movie is that. I really want it to be. I did believe that this movie would be that, because I thought they were going to kill off Cole Young, take away Arcana, and do all this stuff to basically rectify the first movie's problems and make it into the definitive Mortal Kombat movie with Liu Kang as protagonist, going up against Shang Tsung as the main antagonist. And, it somewhat seems like we might be able to get that, but I'm not sure. We haven't gotten enough information about the movie so far, but if I'm going from what I'm seeing right now, the movie is just going to be I. Just I. But yeah, that's my opinion. You guys let me know what you think of this movie so far. Obviously, we haven't even got a first trailer yet. We barely know anything, so not a lot of definitive thoughts. I can't go out here and say this movie will be bad. No, I think it's going to be okay. But that's not basing off of a whole lot. So yeah, you guys comment what you think. Also make sure to check out the description with my links to my merch store, my Mortal Kombat Retold podcast, my Twitter, and my Instagram. Also make sure to give this video a like so that more people can see it. And also make sure to subscribe, turn on the notification bell if you haven't already. And with that being said, that's it for this video, my fellow oddities. I'll see you next time.